Okay, so we're here with Tom Sandow from Bollon in Western Queensland. Tom, just give us a little bit of info on your business and how you found the Horsch Avatar.
Yeah, so we're pretty new to the cropping game where we are. So we're probably 18-inch rainfall, sort of a loamy red country, predominantly buffel grass. Grazing's our main main game. And then we sort of saw a bit of an opening. Also, my background's farming and contract farming, and so I've had a bit to do with disc machines. And we sort of thought we might, given the last sort of 2 years, sort of, anything's possible, I guess. So we sort of thought, let's diversify. And so we headed down the cropping path, and our main game was moisture conservation.
So with the machine, Tom, how have you been using? You've just been mainly direct drilling, or you've been in cultivation and have you used variable rate?
So we're direct drilling. So in our situation, it's new country, bit of timber in it. We really like the setup with the rubber block design. It's been around for a long time, but I think Horsch has got it right. I've seen it used on a lot of different other implements, and probably steered away from it in the past. Just basically on, this particular design with the down pressure, working independently to the actual torsion rubbers, works really, really well. Very simple, low maintenance. But in our application, we're direct drilling into both stubble, and we've got some timber in our country. Being new country, you're never going to get it perfect the first season, and it's also quite undulating. It's still settling out, and having the individual units doing their own thing, the depth control is just really nice. So we don't have the wide depth wheels. We've only got a narrow, I think there might be a 50 mil unit, and that carries, we're soft red country, carries a unit, no dramas at all. Found it very, very good, and you can just see, if you're within, half a day, you can see every seed's coming up together, so uniform. The maturity of their crops, identical right across it. And that's a big thing. We sort of, there's a lot of information now in this disc space, and there's a lot of, a lot of reasons you would go with a disc over a tine unit, and especially in our area where we want to maintain all that moisture. And that's our big difference between where us farming as opposed to some of our neighbours. They're all conventional, and not so much. I suppose now we're talking conventional. It used to be a full cultivation when you plant. Now conventional sort of seems to be tine machines as opposed to disc machines. But no, we've been really, really impressed with the finish. Very, very little disturbance, and we've gone with a tooth wheel on the back, and we're actually finding we can dig dirt out of the furrow if we don't want the seed to be in too deep. We can offset it to the plant line and fold that furrow closed. We're finding them very, very reliable, very, very accurate seed placement, and you probably not having diffusers. We thought that initially that would be an issue as far as setting your fan speed, but haven't had any issues at all, and it's quite amazing what you can get away with. The simplicity of it is very, very easy to set up. Your depth, your press closing wheel, and then your press wheel. It's very, very good.
So from a maintenance point of view, you're disappointed not to have worn out the grease gun?
No, I think the evolution of battery-powered grease guns. We always thought that'd fix our greasing issues, but you soon get sick of them. But no, very, very good. Yeah, we haven't. I suppose so. We've probably done 2,500 hectares with our machine now, and I think the only greasing points we keep an eye on is in the parallelogram behind the machine, and it's very, very good and simple. Like there's no, if you get too close to a fence, or if you get into a sticky spot, whether it's you're driving to a wet melon hole or something, lift up, back out. You're not getting out unhooking anything, or no, very good.
What sort of speed are you running at?
So we sort of try and sit between that 11 to 12 km an hour, just depending on what sort of conditions we're going into. We did find so the down pressure for your units are set through the screen on the go, so you can set your sort of benchmark where you want the machine to start at. And we did actually find we went from barley stubble to wheat stubble, and we found that we actually had to back our unit pressure off because we were getting some of the wheat stubble pulling out. It doesn't sort of hang into the ground like barley stubble would. And that was the only thing that, and it was so simple to fix on the go. You sort of, you don't really know, we didn't really know what the problem was, but it was all to do with our down pressure, and that's the only thing that we've sort of scratched our head, and it was such a simple thing. But no, been...
Like we're checking row units, being able to lift them up to chest height to have a look at the row units.
Oh yeah, we do a seed check. We do an airflow check. So we've got these blockage monitors, very sensitive. So any little issue you've got with, we've been in some really wet conditions where we've actually lifted this little rubber wheel up and pinned him up. And then just using this as a straight press wheel, so like a tine machine would be. So we've been in some really, really wet conditions. And to check your seed boots, as simple as lifting it up, walk along with your hand underneath it, and there's no issues at all. It's very, very user friendly. And as far as there's nothing worse than having a blocked unit or a blocked row or in a year like this.
It'll always be on the road.
That's right, yeah. So, no, as far as user friendly and getting the ease of getting a good finished job is...
Transport, like moving around, being able to fold up to 3 metres?
Excellent. No, it's very straightforward, and it you think, gosh, it's going to, looks a bit, it's very an unconventional machine to be folding up a bit like a spray rig, single axle, but no, you soon get used to that, and it's a good thing. I mean, we didn't even run a truck or grouper this year. It was too wet to get down the paddock with it, so we were folding up and trafficking back to the silos, doing all our inoculating and loading back there, and just very simple. Once you fold it up, that there's nothing on the ground except your wheels. Your transport wheels, keep an eye on them, and it's like you're wiping out a grid, back behind you or something. So as far as operators go, very simple to get someone set up and started on it. Right, so it's set up very similar to our machine. So the only difference is we're on 10-inch. This is also running the half-width shut-off. So we're using that as well, integrated with Green Star actually. So we used half-width shut-off and variable rate this year on our fertilizer. So we were going anywhere from 25 to 50 kilos on the starter. And then also using, we've got a few point runs and those sorts of things, and starter at $1,500 a tonne. You want to be sort of saving a bit, So no, it works very, very well, very simple. And look, if you decide to put it on a later date, you can do, I mean, I know ours didn't turn up with it, and very easy to install. It's all there ready to go. It works really well.
Full isobus, where you can use it as an isobus machine, or it's got its own screen. That's pretty good feature too.
Yeah, absolutely. No, it's very neat, very tidy. In the cab, there's we use 2 remotes. So one's sort of just straight up and down, one's fan, and you'd think with all the different functions on the machine, you'd think, gosh, I'm going to need 5 remotes, and they're all going to be used, but no, it works very well through the screen, very simple.
So you've got one hydraulic line, in and out, lift and raise, and that you hit the button to fold it, and
that's right.
One set of hydraulics. You got your fan, and then your co-strain.
Yeah, and it's very very safe. Like as far as folding up, you can't go and twist this thing into a knot because you've accidentally used the wrong remote. Sure. It steps you through on the screen, and it works very well.
3 metre infield. That's a good.
Yeah, 3 metre works well. So it's on the sliding, the telescopic axle. So down the track, we probably would like to have it as a fixed 3 metre centres and actually use that telescopic function as a road tracker. So we can inter-row, so we can control where we want the machine to sit, and it sounds like there's a lot of the machine being so simple, there's a lot of space for those little things that, I think down the track we'll be able to expand on the machine we've already bought.
Did you get the third bin?
We didn't. So the third bin's a great feature. I mean, we're doing a multi-species crop ourselves, and we probably moving forward we'll probably go to a 3 bin. I think these are now coming in as a 3 bin. That'll be a great feature, great function, and having that ability to do 3 products, whether it be 2 fertilisers and a seed or 2 seeds and a fertiliser. No, it'll be a good thing.
This year when it's been so muddy, like you've got 11,500 kilos, 2 tonne over on the drawbar and a 9.5 tonne there. And when it's in the field working, like a lot of that weight is taken on the gauge wheels as well.
That's right.
It does tread lightly.
It does. You would think that when you fold it up heading down the paddock, you think, gee whiz, I've got a fair lump of a machine sitting on a single axle. But once you're in the ground and working, it's amazing how much weight's actually taken by those depth wheels, and the whole machine sits up, and it works. And when the machine's in and out of the ground, it does work very well. And having the ability to lift the machine out of the ground but keep your seed running if you're going through a wet spot, so it'll drop all the pressure out of your units, and they'll just sit on top of the ground unless you've actually got to lift it up. You can. It's a great feature being able to drop all your unit pressure off to get through that wet spot, load her up again once you get out the other side and plan away.
That's great.
Yeah, very straightforward. Once you get it pretty close to the first calibration, the second one's usually a little. You're dealing with 0.002 of a kilo by the end of it. It's very, very accurate. I mean, we planted canola this year. They've actually got a little brush here that bolts on the inside of the metering unit, lines up with the little grooves in your canola roller, and I know that canola can be a bit of a fickle product to get the right rate, but we were doing 2.2 kilos, and I think we were over 100 hectares, we were half a kilo out. Like, it's just amazingly accurate, and we're also running 2 products, so we had canola in one bin, peas in the other, and the airflow didn't seem to affect anything. It worked really, really well. And as you say, can run up to 120 RPM. We like to try and sit around that 80 if we can. And there's a roller out there to get you by. You can run 1 bin, 2 bins, whatever you like, all through the screen.
So with the, you were saying, you're commenting there about the even germination across from left to right. Do you think, like with Horsch, what they try to do is they have the fan, or in most cases with all their assays, they have the fan, they meter it once and they split it once. The coefficient of variation should be around about 5%, less than 5%. Yeah. Is that what you would see in the field?
It's always a tricky. Like we've had trailing air carts before, and not always the same brand machines. So it might be one brand of air cart, one different brand of planter, and you always have that thing in your head. Oh, should there be exactly the same length of hose to try and keep our air pressures all the same? But we found that it's bang on. It's very, very accurate, and having it that simple, like you see a lot of primary splitters, secondary splitters, and then diffusers, and all the way through. There's probably you're dealing with trying to get it as accurate as you can. But we haven't seen an issue at all with number of plants per metre, across the machine. Very, very accurate.